Hey, Indians, Jeremy Fuel here, Superintendent at Mississinewa. Today is February 21st, Friday. So happy Friday to everybody. This is episode 9 of Mississinewa Matters. Here recently, we've gotten some questions in regards to why we have not considered or why we are not renovating RJ Basket to maintain it as a 678 building, and I want to go through some of that with you today. So you'll see on this sheet right here, we have option A, option B, option C for RJ Basket in potential renovations or relocations. What I want to note is that option 1.1 there that you'll see is right under 31 million. So 30,000 or 30 million, 600,000. Um, that is the original option that we had looked at with renovating RJ Basket, doing office renovations to make the building more secure, excavating the outside to work on the water infiltration issues that we have in the below ground rooms, windows, classroom doors, abating of asbestos in there, working on plumbing, electrical, all those different types of things. New layout inside the building to bring it up to ADA accessibility, to what the classroom sizes would need to be to continue to function at a high level for the students and staff. And so you'll see that that's about almost 31 million. If you add the soft cost into that, you're going to be right. If you have about 22% of that, you're going to be that 38 to 39 million dollar range. So that got us back to, okay, hey, let's pause. Let's look at what other options we may have. And the other options that we looked at really were moving sixth, seventh, and eighth over to the high school. And so we got some pricing on that as well. And at the end of the day, we thought that was going to be a better option for a multitude of reasons. One, a big one was the financial piece of it. Another big reason that I'd like to share is if we had to renovate um, RJ Basket, we would have to put kids in these types of units. So these mobile classroom units that I mean, essentially they're trailers, is what they are. Um, it's a fourplex of classrooms with restrooms um, in between them. And you can kind of see what it would look like there. Those would have to be facilitated and put in the parking lot, more likely in the lower parking lot of RJ Basket. We would have to evacuate half of the building, use those as classrooms for a year and a half, remodel half of the building during that time, reoccupy it after it's done, evacuate the other half of the building into these mobile classrooms, and remodel that portion of the building. Then after between 3 and 4 years of that process, then the building would be renovated and we'd be able to occupy it. So we had a big safety concern with doing this, and having students and staff out there. Plus, obviously, I think you all know that RJ Basket, just the geographical setup and lack of land and driving space and traffic flow, putting what we would need is about 4 of these units. And so when we started looking at that, I'll share another document here as well. When we started looking at that, each one of those four-plex classrooms, we need about 5 of them. So basically 20 classrooms. Um, 4 of them are 68 by 64. So you space 5 of those out in that lower parking lot. You run your sewer lines, your electrical, all that kind of stuff that has to be ran to them. Would really make things very, very restricted at RJ Basket and virtually impossible to be able to navigate. What you get temporary classrooms in place, you get your construction trailers in place, you get your construction equipment in place, and then also you look at the dollar cost of them. I mean, $636,000 for 4 of those for a fourplex. You would need 5 of those total. So you're looking at a decent chunk of change there, of over $3 million that would be allocated to temporary classrooms that at the end of the project you're not going to be able to get rid of them for nearly of what the money is that we put into them. So we weighed that into consideration as well, with renovating RJ Basket versus doing a sixth, seventh, and eighth edition at the high school. So that was a big factor in it, obviously going forward. So that was the first thing that we considered. We also looked at let's build a seventh, eighth edition at the high school. Just move seventh, eighth over. Move Make RJ Basket a 5-6 building. We looked at that, but if we did that, we're essentially adding more staffing, more administrative staff, more teaching staff, so on and so forth, because we're going to basically have 5 buildings that we're running at that point in time. Even though the seventh and eighth would be onto the high school, that would be too much with our current administrative staff to take on an additional about 400 students. So it'd be too much to do. And from a cost standpoint, short term and long term, it just didn't make sense. Fast forward to the projects we have out there now. Obviously, the 87 million is one of them. We have a $62 million project and a $50 million project. So really looking at the $50 million project or the $62 million project, you focus in on those, especially 50, you compare that to roughly a $38 million project where you get way more bang for our buck with 50 than we are at 38. And it's definitely a lot more conducive over a 4 or 5 year period of time for those students and staff, to not have to be working out of mobile classrooms. So I want to walk through that with you guys and just help you understand our thought process behind that. Hopefully that helps a little bit. As these types of questions come up, please send them my way. I would love to be able to present more information on stuff like this. If there's something that you have a question on and I haven't presented on, or you can't find the information on the strategic planning website, please send it to me, and I will either direct you to where we've already talked about it, or if we haven't talked about it, I'm more than happy to put numbers to things and put a presentation out there for the entire group. So wanted to walk through this with you guys today. I hope it is helpful. Again, willing to talk or meet with anybody. My cell phone is 765-475-6412. Definitely encourage everybody to reach out with your questions. Obviously, we have posted our upcoming meeting dates and times. A lot of those coming up over the next 3 to 4 weeks. So I encourage you, if you have questions, concerns, input, please attend those, and get them to me. If you're unable to attend, reach out to me one-on-one, and we can have a discussion, and I can show you anything and everything that you're wanting to see. So hopefully this is helpful. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and go Indians.